be, and the materials are very solid. As you can see here, you know, all the materials laid out, so you know everything that comes in the box. As always, have a nice open workspace because this is a large unit, and that there's the attachments, which are marked very clearly. The instruction guide looks like it's complicated, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's very brief, but they did a nice job with the blow-up view. So I started mine like this. I put the first pieces on the floor and how they're going to be connected. And these little padded things go into these holes on the end of the base. There's 3 holes on each of the base pieces. And this here deal is where you can put weights, you know, like that you exercise with, and put them on there to secure it even better. I mean, if you put this unit on a carpet, it isn't going anywhere. But even on this tile floor, it moves around a little bit. But if you put some, you know, 20, 30, 40 pounds of weight on each of the ends, it's definitely not moving. So that's what this is for, as far as I can tell. Otherwise, I really don't know, you know, what the padding is for, honestly. I'm imagining you could figure there's somebody smarter than me is going to post it. But anyway, the instructions tell you, you know, you put the bolts in on the bottom, and it's really rather simple. I mean, it's a little bit goofy. The bolt, you know, you got to fiddle with it to get it in, but I'm sure you'll figure that out. So then, you know, we're going to attach the base pieces together, as you can see here. And you're going to use the large bolts, the longest bolts that are in the assembly. And they label them as, the M10s, I think. So you'll put those in there. And again, it's a little fiddling and whittling, but it's not horrible. The engineering is pretty well done, and everything fits good. It slides in there. Make sure you do your washers. You're going to put one of the washers on each side, you know, on the head side, and then once it slides through the other side, you put another washer on, and then you put the bolt over the other washer. As I think I'm trying to show you. So anyway, I don't know what I'm doing there. Fiddling with it. Anyway, you'll be fiddling with it too. So you fiddle with it until you get both bolts in. I really have no idea why I didn't just cut this out and make it look like I did it easily the first time. But as you can see, everybody's going to be fiddling with it a little bit to get it in. And you know, whatever it takes. Just don't forget the washers and the bolt. I think I ended up having to put that side in first. I was having trouble getting the other side in first. And don't tighten it down. Just snug it with your fingers because you'll need a little bit of flexibility when you're putting the other pieces in. Okay, so moving on to the next part here. I'm putting the bolts that I'm going to need for the whatever this middle frame unit is. You know, it's the thing the base that holds the bag. It's not the top part. And again, it's rather self-explanatory. You know, how it mounts into the base. You can see where I'm putting it. And then you're going to use the long bolts again to fasten it to that middle base piece, just like I'm showing you here. And again, with the washers, don't forget the washers. And don't tighten it down again. A little bit of wiggle room's pretty good. I mean, just snug it in there. I mean, you want to snug it in reasonably well, or it kind of flops around. But I didn't tighten it all the way down, and they tell you, to just hand tighten it for whatever reason. So after you get those bolts in, we're going to start filling with the side supports. Oh no, we're going to put the big tall overhead. Now the little plastic thing that says Everlast, you got to just sort of hit that in there on the top. I already did it. And then you got to put the bag hanger through that hole. There you go. And just put a washer in the top and one of those nuts in the top. I didn't do good with my GoPro here, unfortunately. I think I started having problems with the way I had it angled. But you can see how that went in. So then the top bag holder unit, it slides in with the little box thing on it facing away from the base, just like you can see there. And then it just slides in. It actually slides in rather well without too much problem. Okay, so now we do the side braces. And so put the facing the unit like I'm doing here. You want to put that one on first. That's the way they have the instructions anyway. And I find that following the instructions usually is the best route. And then on the bottom, use the long bolts, the longest ones, which I think are the M10s, and make sure that you shoot them in towards the interior. And the reason is you don't want the nut to be sitting on the outside to cut people's feet off and stuff. You see how it sticks out a little down there? So make sure that the bolt goes in so that the nuts are screwed inside, so they're not protruding. And then on the top, you're going to be using the second largest. Oh, I haven't got to that yet. I'm still clowning around with the bottom. Just snug tighten it with your hands. Again, you want it to be a little bit flexible while you work it in on the top part. So now for the top bolts, you're going to use the second largest bolts here, not the big ones. And it's going to end up going through to the other side. So I don't know what I'm doing here. It's my GoPro. I didn't have it aiming properly. Live and learn. Dumb. Anyway, so once you get that bolt just in there, kind of, just holding it, put the other brace on. Oh my, I don't have this aimed right. I do apologize. And then stick it through, and then put the nuts on as best you can there to fasten it, but just tighten it down. Then you put the large bolts on the bottom of the other side, just like on the opposite side, so that the nuts will be on the inside. So these are the large bolts right here. Okay. And then just sort of hand tighten those down and make sure everything's correct like that. You can see how it looks, and then go ahead and start tightening these guys down a bit. Not sure if I did the full tighten here or not. I did. Yeah, just tighten the whole unit down now. Hey, as always, I would not use your super muscles and break it. I mean, this is some really sturdy stuff. This is not cheap. They use some pretty good materials that can handle it. I would tighten it good, but don't do it until you're going to break your wrench, because I'm not sure which is going to break first, the wrench or the bolt. You certainly don't want to break the bolt. Just tighten it good. it ain't going anywhere. I mean, you could check it once in a while. It doesn't hurt to check them, you know, in a couple of days after people have been hitting it, and make sure that everything's snug. Also, cross tighten. So you tighten a little bit, then tighten another bolt next to it. You know how you do that, right? Because what happens is it'll tighten unevenly. So tighten one, you know, bolt, then go to the next one, then go back to the first one. You know, I call it cross tightening, but what it does is it tightens them evenly, so you don't have stuff poking out and tightened weird. You get, I think you know what I mean. Okay, so the next section is going to be the little bag hanger, and that's a piece of Formica or wood or whatever, which again is nice. I mean, they did a nice job on this. And then the frame is very durable, and you're gonna have to play with this. I think it's the third longest bolts that go through this one, and it's you know, you can see I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to get. I don't know why I'm showing you me trying to figure it out, but anyway, you will. I mean, it's really just a matter of lining it up with the holes and sticking it through the bottom and holding it in place. I mean, if you have a second person that can help you, obviously it's going to be much easier than doing it with your legs and arms and teeth. But, you know, you slide the bolt through, and then you can't see me tightening the bolt on it because I have the GoPro wrong. Okay, so anyway, once you crank that sucker down, then you slide it in that little box, and I put mine all the way down because my son is going to be hitting it, and, you know, he's short. But, you know, you do it where you want, but it's got, you know, I mean, you should know what you're doing here, but you don't want it so low that you're going to be punching the wooden hanger. It's going to hurt your hand if you punch that. So anyway, you slide it down, and honestly, so then you put the little, there's one that's a tightener, and one is like a little lock thing with a spring type deal, so you can slide it up and down. And I haven't fiddled with that to see which is which, but the holes, I think I show you which ones that I put them in. There it is. You can see it. I didn't do a super great job with that. There. That's how I have it. I haven't tested it yet. But it's supposed to be designed where you loosen the one and then you can pull it out and slide it up and down at will. Oh, there's my son playing Ark. And I don't know why I put this in here. So anyway, then you are going to crank all this stuff down. And, you know, retighten everything. Oh yeah, I don't even know if I tighten those bolts yet, but anyway, just make sure everything's nice and tight. And really, that's about it. I hope it helped. I mean, I know I use YouTube all the time to help me with stuff I'm stuck on. So I figure, well, heck, when I'm putting something together, I'll go and, you know, if it can help somebody that maybe lost the instructions or whatnot. I have no idea why I'm videotaping myself cranking this stuff down. But I did. Oh, yeah, you should use your own wrench because theirs is going to hurt your hands. And I have a little Allen wrench thing. You get that at the dollar store. That thing on my left hand, I got that at the dollar store. All right, well, I hope it helped you guys. And there it is.